All right, we are live. It is the True Vapor Show. And today we are missing one in action, but I got two special guests on today. I'm going to let y'all take it away, whoever wants to start.
I'll start it off. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Mark. I'm from VapnFagan. You guys can check me out on YouTube over at VapnFagan. And it's really, really early for me, so yeah, I'm vaping on the Tan Mod by Lost Vape and my Crown Tank with a nickel coil. And e-liquid, I'm using some e-liquid from the Grim Cult line.
Nice. Danielle.
So I'm Daniel. My channel on YouTube is DJLsb Vapes, or how some guys like to call DJLsb Labs. I do some reviews, some equipment testing, recently some battery venting, and that's it. And I'm vaping on the gang mod. I'm vaping, not using it as a weapon, okay? And the aromizer. And the aromizer RDTA with my own DIY juice.
Nice. Zach, what's up, brother?
I'm reversed. There we go.
Hey, there he is.
All right.
What's up, guys? I just got finished ordering a DNA 200 chip last night. It shipped out already.
Nice.
Cool deal.
We were just introducing ourselves, so Zach, you're just in time to introduce yourself to folks and tell them what you're vaping on, if you would be so kind.
I'm Zach from Vaping Moderation, and right now I'm just finishing up my review of the Ginger Vapes line of juices, which hasn't been released, and I currently am vaping on Stepchild by Ginger Vapes.
Damn.
All these things have funny names. This is Stepchild by Ginger Vapes. This is Freckles, and this is Daywalker. And the tagline is "Juice that will steal your soul."
Cool. Not to be confused with Ginger Vapor.
No, right, exactly. And I spell that out in my review video so that I'm kind of giving him a plug. I don't usually do juice reviews, but since he was all caught up in the negative press there, I figured I'd do what I can to try and throw some support his way.
And Mark, do you know what's going on with all that?
With what?
With Zach?
No, I don't. I honestly don't.
Oh. Zach, you wanted to give him a quick heads up?
Yeah, give me
sure.
an update.
I reviewed this mod here. I even did an update for it. Both reviews really positive. I was like, this is a great mod. It's my go-to mod. You need to buy one. When I shot the first video, I realized you couldn't buy it off Shapeways anymore, so I sent people to Ginger Vapor because that was the only place you could buy it. He signed an exclusivity agreement. Well, Ginger Vapor decided to start like trying to tell me to take my video down on a forum and edit out certain parts. And I was like, dude, screw you. I don't work for you. I don't work for anybody. I do this for free. So I was like, look, I'll come out with an update video. And I came out with an update video, just addressed the issues that he was bringing up. You know, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. So whatever, I addressed those issues. Still told people, go buy the mod. It's an awesome mod, da-da-da. So then he sent me an email with a cease and desist, or we're filing paperwork on Monday to sue you. And I was like, what?
Another company.
Yeah, so I talked to some people, and they were like, no, there's no weight behind that. And I talked to some more people, and I was like, can I post that? And they were like, yeah, as long as you don't edit it or whatever. So I did a special video just for him. And it caught a lot of people's attention. It caught Matt from over at my mod was.
Maybe that's what they want.
Yeah, I thought about that after the fact. Like, any press is good press, but that hasn't particularly worked out in the vaping industry. Because it's a $260 mod, and people who have $260 to spend on a mod, they're choosy with how they spend their $260.
Yeah, I actually heard a little bit about that because I was actually interested in buying one of those mods, and I was talking to someone, and they told me a little bit about it, about someone did a video, and there was like a lawsuit and this and that. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's crazy that a lot of these companies are getting kind of like lawsuit happy.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is that Ginger Vapor doesn't. He's not the one who made the mod. Timu
Yeah,
Kangas on Shapeways made the mod, and then just gave them exclusive rights to sell it. So they're just a retailer. They're not even like. It's not like I offended their mod that they created. I'm apparently offended a mod that they sell. So I'm like, dude, screw you. I got this DNA 200 mod that's coming that looks very similar to that Boxer mod, but it is not the Boxer mod, and you can get it on Shapeways right now. So.
Cool deal. All right, well, excuse me. I'm Scott with SD Vapes. I want to say I apologize on air for yesterday's show. Had bad weather move through my area. I was without power for a good while, so we're trying to play catch up today. But today I'm vaping on a little cut wood, some bird brains, my cereal thing for the morning since it is early in the morning. And I'm vaping on the LI with the Dark Horse Mini, my little favorite combo right now. So take it away, Daryl.
Sorry, I had to mute it. I have a garbage truck going by, and it was pretty loud. I'm in my backyard. I don't vape in the house. We have family. I'm Daryl Shergan. I have a YouTube channel called Quest4vape, and you know, that's it. I'm in Long Island, New York, and nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you, Mark. Danny, it's always good to see you. And I'm vaping on. I promise we didn't plan this. I've got Cutwood's Boss Reserve. It's nice. It's 1.5%. It's a 1.5 milligram strength. I'm kind of liking. I'm cutting back on my nicotine a little bit more, and I'm vaping on a nice box mod. I didn't make this. Powerhouse Mods. It's a triple 18650 parallel, not series.
Cool.
How's that that Boss Reserve? I just ordered a bottle and I just got it today, but I haven't tried it yet.
That's awesome. I love it. I love
Is
it. Very complex. I would be interested. You know what? I haven't tried it on nickel yet in temperature control, but I want to, because there's a lot of flavors going on in it. There's like some banana. There's a ton of stuff going on in there, including tobacco, which I don't taste, but let me know how you like it.
Really? It's got a tobacco?
Very mild hint of tobacco, a little bit of coffee, a little bit of graham cracker, I think. There's a lot going on in that.
Gotcha.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I think Andrew was singing the praises on that one. He had 2 bottles of it.
It's a good one for when smokers are just getting into vaping because it's bold and it's got those strong flavor notes that a smoker needs because they can't pick up on the subtleties usually of like a custard or something. So I've given it to a lot of smokers and it becomes their all-day vape real quick.
Cool. Daniel, you are trying to put us all to shame by doing Daredevil videos. Why don't you tell us about it, man?
Yeah, I was kind of afraid for doing that. I was shaking, but I just did because I was pretty sure it was an IMR battery, and IMR batteries they don't explode. They usually just vent. They can vent hardly, but they usually only vent. But that one, I don't know. I don't have sure if it exploded or if it vent so much that it fly away. I don't have pretty sure. Yeah.
So,
because I only have the space in the floor and the burn. So.
For folks who haven't seen that video yet, can you tell us a little bit what happened?
Yeah, I was vaping on my sofa on the SMY 60 TC, and just because I had silence in my home, I heard I heard a noise inside the mod. I opened the battery cover, and I listened. The noise was coming from the battery, and I thought the battery was venting. And then I set up. I mounted my setup, my camera, and I started to film right away. Yeah.
Most of us would have just threw that shit right out the window in like the nearest body of water. But you had the presence of mind to put your camera on.
if it was an ICR, yeah, definitely, because ICR batteries can explode. But thinking the battery was actually an IMR, I did the footage.
And then you went ahead and took a second battery and duplicated the event.
Yeah, a Samsung battery that is totally fine. So it's not a problem of the mod. But eFest texted me saying that they purchased an SMY 60TC to do their own tests. So.
And you're sending those batteries? Do you still have the battery? Was it one battery or two batteries that vented?
I have two of those batteries. Just one vented. The other one, I don't use it anymore. eFest is requesting me to send the other one to them, and I didn't got time yet to send the battery to them.
Well, tell them they're going to need to send some investigators to go find the battery.
See, I was fixing to do a whole big like battery, and I just dropped. Damn you, Danny! No, I'm just kidding. I just dropped a bunch of money on the eFest new charger and a bunch of different batteries from eFest, which I've been using for a while and hadn't had a problem. And I was planning on doing this whole video with like MREN batteries and eFest batteries and Sony's and Samsung's, and I was like, oh shit, let me not stick my foot in my mouth because I really don't. I'm not an expert. And look at what just happened. So like, I got my batteries directly from eFest, and I was chatting with them, and I said, what's up? What happened? You know, you're making me look bad. Should I take my video down? They were like, no, it's an isolated event. We're talking with Danny. He's sending us the batteries. We're checking the batch. They want to see. Yeah, they're responding. They're not ducking and covering like, uh-oh, maybe nobody notices. Yeah. But you had a long...
It's not an isolated event, because I have 3 messages of 3 persons that proved me it happened the same to them with the same battery.
So you had a long chat with the guy from Pegasus Vapor Academy. Is that correct?
Yeah. I am always talking very much with him, because on batteries I only trust on him. And I tested the charging of these batteries, the 2,800 milliamp batteries, and they really take around 2,800 milliamp capacity in them. So we are suspecting that they are really 2,800 milliamp batteries, but only 5 amp discharge batteries.
Yeah.
So,
but if they are the PCT, or I don't know the name now, the protection they are supposed to have, if they have the protection doing fine, you will not have any problem. You are just going to be limited because the battery can only deliver 5 amps. But if that protection goes away, like supposedly mine, the battery will vent quickly.
So what does that mean? Bad batch, bad battery, bad... do we just go throw the baby out with the bathwater? Bad company, stay away from it. I don't feel responsible saying that.
Just go with the last ones, the 2,500 milliamps. At least they are LG re-reps. So those 2,800 milliamp new batteries, they are actually the first ones really made by eFest.
Oh.
And there's no way, like, and you're positive that it wasn't the mod that caused it?
I tested the mod even on extremer situations with LG and Samsung batteries, and nothing happened.
Okay. I know SMY, they normally their mods are kind of like, not all that great, so that's why I wondered.
I suspected the same. That's why I tested. another battery right away on the video, and I tested more lately. Yeah.
And if you look at the latest video that Pegasus came out with on batteries, you'll see that like there's a few top battery manufacturers, people who have spent millions of dollars developing batteries, and those two top companies are LG and Samsung. Everybody else follows like behind them, trying to be LG or Samsung. So there's no reason. And I have no problem with eFest. I have a few of their batteries, but since they're rewrapping and obviously they're kind of bumping the specs up, it's just better to stick with the main name brands. Yeah. I mean, the batteries are cheap nowadays. Your LGs and your Samsungs are cheap. There's no reason that you would want to muddy the water by going through eFest. That's all that does is muddy. It's like, having somebody else handle. It's a intermediary. It's somebody between you and your real batteries.
Yeah, but people are going to go with eFest batteries because they are overrated.
That's and plus you got a lot of new vapors who there's so many battery choices out there. Even when I shop for batteries, I get confused because there's so many different brands and types and styles that it gets confusing sometimes. So a lot of new people, they probably just go for the best deal and the best price.
I know, I kind of feel bad for people that's just getting into vaping now, because when I got into it, you didn't have a whole lot of selection, much of anything. But now you can go on these sites, man, you don't know where to begin with this stuff unless you know somebody.
Exactly.
That's why I think for people that are just becoming vapors, this is the best solution. I think Inokin was totally right. Having a removable battery, but a trusted one, and easy to swap.
And that's called the disruptor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, or I recommend like normally something with like an internal battery that you charge over USB until they get to learn more about batteries. That's normally what I suggest.
Yeah, me too. But usually, even people that are leaving. The cigarettes and entering on vaping, they usually know that built-in battery mods they don't last longer during the day, because they watch the same on other vapors, and usually vapors nowadays, the ones I know, they always jump straight to a swappable battery device.
Who is Mark? You just did a video on the disruptor, didn't you?
Yeah, I think like a week or two ago. Probably about a week or two ago.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I had no problems with it. The only thing I wasn't a fan of was the batteries. I mean, you gotta pretty much purchase batteries solely just for that device. So if you have a collection of batteries like I do, you have to go out and start buying more batteries, and those batteries are only good for that device. So if Inokin comes out with a few other devices that those batteries will work on, I think it'll be kind of a good investment. But I don't know. Like for a new vapor, it's probably not a bad idea. But for someone who's already in vaping, already owns batteries, I mean, to invest in even more batteries, I wasn't a fan of that.
Totally agree.
But as far as the device, though, the device was very impressive.
What do the batteries just go for? I don't even guess I've really looked at the pricing on those.
I think it was like $40 for the mod with a battery, and then of course you're going to want to buy at least 1 or 2 extra batteries with it. So you're looking at like $70, $80, I think.
Yeah, because I saw the separate batteries selling between $9 and $17.
I think Inokin just going to kind of just see how it takes off, and if it takes off, they might come out with a few more mods that require that same battery. If they do, it'd be a good idea. But right now, I mean, I probably only suggest it to newer vapors. And it's a cool idea that you can charge the battery by itself, without it being attached to the mod. So that way you could charge a battery on the side and still use the mod at the same time.
Yeah. I noticed that Yeah, they're trying to do the big color combo stuff on them, so there's like, what, about 4 or 5 different colors to mix match all that crap up.
Yeah. They have actually, I think probably more than that. I think they have like 8 colors. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
On the control head, on the control head, I think it is just silver, black, and gold. On batteries, I think it is between 8 to 10 different colors, something like that.
Cool. All right, well, what's going on new in the world other than Daredevil over there? Other than, I would like to say this, and I know everybody's been getting it in this week, but I just myself recently joined Vaporium, and by far that is a very awesome site right there, especially if you're new, old, whatever into vaping. It really gives you a chance to interact with people. You know, I'm really seeing where a lot of new people are coming on, asking questions to, you know, people that's been doing this for a while, and they're really getting help out of it, opposed to, you know, of course, when you get Andrew on there, you're just going to get cussed out, but it's all good. I think everybody in here has joined it so far.
It's a great community there. Just altruistic, no hidden agendas, which is nice. That live chat that they have that was awesome. I mean,
oh yeah,
on there and can hang out for hours and just talk. All kinds of stuff comes up in topics of conversation, but that was fun.
Well, I think one of the best things out of that, and Mark, don't let your head get just too big now, but Mark is a big name in this game, so is DJ, and you know, you got these kind of guys going in there, and you can actually interact with, you know, them. So I really think that means a lot to people to be able to ask them questions, you know, because who better to ask? So
yeah, it's fun. I mean, what drew me to it was the video hangout thing. That was really cool. It's a cool place to kind of jump in, and if you get like an immediate question you want to ask someone, and then also you get to meet a lot of cool people. It's not just like typing, you know, on a like a Facebook screen or something like that. It's kind of laid out like Facebook, but for those people that actually want to interact with people, you can hop on the Google Hangout, the G Spot, and meet all kinds of cool people.
Definitely. I really enjoyed it. And when I first got on there, I was just more or less, I wasn't even going into the G Spot until I hit it one night. And now I'm realizing people are staying in there 24 hours and longer. So
sleeping in there and stuff.
Hell yeah. So what's going on? Go ahead.
I wanted to kind of go round robin with something real quick, and if you don't mind, because hey, listen, we're all building channels. We got Mark on here, and by the way, Mark, been a fan of yours for a while. Not a fanboy, but fan. I mean, I learned a lot of the stuff that I learned in vaping when I first got it started. I was watching your videos, so it's really cool to be on here with you. How long have you had a YouTube channel, and what inspired you to start doing that?
I think I have been doing reviews. I'm not positive, but I think about a year, maybe give or take a month or so. What inspired me? Well, for one, I was a member on, I still am, but I'm a member on ECF, and I would always be out there like answering people's questions, helping them out, and stuff like that. And then there was another part of me. I'm one of those guys that when I buy something, regarding like not even vape related, like electronics or anything, I have to watch a review on it. Like I can't buy anything unless I watch a review on it. So that's kind of what got me into doing reviews. You know, I'm kind of like, well, I'm watching other people. You know, let me give it a try. And I threw out a video on my Lazy Susan. I forgot what it was. It was holding my e-liquid. And it got some views, and then I kind of just, you know, tried it again, did another video, and people started watching it, and then it kind of just took off. I figured, you know, if I'm going to help people on the forum, then why not try kind of like in the, I call it the real world, but, you know, YouTube world, and kind of just took off from there. Cool. And then as the months, you know, went on, my videos kind of improved a little more and more, and even still to this day, a year later, I'm still trying to improve my videos. And then I also started like a Facebook page to where I can communicate with people more, to help people more out there, and it's been going pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, I've been keeping up with the your progression. You can tell when a change comes into play, like in an intro or just whatever. It's easy to pick up out of things now. So
yeah, like I mean, like every couple videos, like progressing and trying to add new things, or I'll take away new things. Like when I first started doing reviews, it was all about just like reviews and reviewing the product, and my main focus was always to communicate with the subscribers, talk to them, answer their questions. Because one thing I hated the most was when I commented on someone's video, they never answered a question. You never hear from the person. So one of my main focuses was always, commenting back. So then later, as my videos started progressing, then it became more about me helping people than it was doing reviews. So now I'm helping people more than I'm like reviewing products. I mean, I'm still reviewing products, but I'm trying to help people more, in the end.
And that comes across, and that's genuine. Were you a smoker before you were a vapor?
Yeah, I quit. I quit in 2009, so I've been vaping for about 6 years now.
Wow.
But I only started doing reviews about a year or so ago. Why it took so long, I honestly don't know. I don't know. Just back in the day, like there wasn't really anything too exciting out there, so maybe that's the reason why I never started doing reviews.
yeah,
Just some Ego batteries, some Cigalite.
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think I educated myself enough over the years to kind of start reviewing, because you kind of gotta know a few things to start reviewing at least. I mean, the only thing I really don't like tamper with is like batteries. I always send people to like the experts for batteries and advocacy. Even though I play my role in advocacy, I normally tell people to follow so-and-so or so-and-so if they want to get really updated on advocacy.
But that in itself helps because you know the people, where to send them to, opposed to just blowing some name off or something.
Yeah,
like
I normally don't. I don't try to teach. Like if someone says, "Oh," if they ask me like a detailed question about a battery, I don't try to just come up with my own answer. I'll send them over to someone's channel or I'll send them to someone's page and tell them to ask this person because they'll know the answer more than I will.
Definitely.
And truthfully, you don't have time to know everything.
Exactly. Like not everyone. I haven't met anyone that knows everything. So everyone has their specialty, I guess. Kind of like that.
And even talking about advocacy takes really huge time from us. And
Yeah.
Being focused on advocacy, we lose time for other things.
Yeah, that's a full-time job, full-time review right there is just advocacy itself. I mean, you got to really know your stuff to kind of get into the advocacy thing and follow everything that's going on, especially now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I listen to some people talk, and I'm like, damn, where are you getting time in to get all this, this stuff
exactly.
done?
I'm the same way. I'm like, how did you find all this stuff out?
So we with an audience, no matter how small or large, are in a position where we can point people and say, these folks say it the best, have all the facts, and instead of all of us being jack of all trades, it's best to send that guy from Vaping Militia. I want everybody to hear him talk, not me.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And Phil, Pete Pissardo, he's the same way. He said it once in his videos before. Because someone made a comment, why doesn't Phil do a lot of advocacy? And he said he's not, that's not his thing. He leaves that up to the professionals, and I agree with them.
Definitely.
Great point.
He's definitely a good one to turn to in need of things.
That's why I'm leaving my battery questions. I've never done a battery review, and I don't plan on it. Pegasus has the equipment to test the batteries. I'm not touching it. He's like the Pete Pissardo of batteries as far as I'm concerned right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, sometimes too. I mean, of course, I'm not a big reviewer at all. But I'm getting started with everything. But sometimes when you're trying to review something that's been reviewed 1,000 times, and you might be looking for a new angle, or just not a new angle, but you want to add something to the thousands of other videos that are out there. You're trying to put your own little piece of it on there, but it's hard to do at times. But I guess my own specialty to me would be, I'm big into the sub-ohm tanks, so I know quite a bit about them. I got quite a few of them. And that's where most of my questions come from my subs, is that, you know, it's not really on rebuildable stuff or anything. And I love to be able to help people like that. Because, too, what I've noticed with tanks, it's like batteries. You can go on these websites or in a store, and there'll be a million of them laying there, and it's like, which one do I do? Which one do I get? What's perfect for me? You know, I try to answer those questions as best as I can.
Yeah, and that's why it's good to have like so many reviewers that we have, because like you said, your specialty is like sub-ohm tanks. But for me, I hate doing sub-ohm tanks. So, you know, like I stopped doing them. So if someone has a question for sub-ohm tanks, you would be the guy to ask. And then like, you know, like Dimitri would be the guy that asked for like advocacy. You know, so everyone I think has their specialty.
Definitely.
I'm the DIY guy.
There
You
we
can
go.
ask me if it's about how the device operates. That's my area of expertise. I've always loved electronics, so I do like chip upgrades for people and you know, flask upgrade. I've done so many upgrades for people, it's not even funny. So if you have a DIY question, what does the device do? What can it handle? I can usually get you the answer to that.
So I could send all my questions to you then, right?
If somebody asks like, can I do this? You know, swap this chip out for this, or you know, change this out for that. I can usually give them an answer for that.
Cool. That's good to know.
We're flooding your channel out then.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what's funny though, and I mean it's pretty much just common sense, but man, if you get a little bit of drama going on your page with something, you can best bet your subs are about to grow, and Zach's perfect example on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I got him just as much attention, so I don't know, kind of a wash.
It is what it is.
Maybe that's just a situation of everybody blowing things out of proportion, and I don't know. Can you guys talk it out and hug it out?
You know, I tried to be as civil as I could, and I even told him through various channels that I'd still accept an apology. You know, if he would just backtrack and be like, "All right, we're rescinding the threat of lawsuit," because as it stands, that still hangs over my head until he says he's rescinding it. Now, does it hang over my head with a bunch of weight? No, it's like a couple of pillow feathers hanging over my head. But as a gentleman, he could rescind that, and I would like tell my subscribers, "Hey, look, you know, he rescinded his and apologized. He repented, so you should forgive him as well."
Oh, he has to do all that. He has to do all that for you.
I mean, it's just a one note. He just has to send me one note, just rescinding the shit that he said. That's all, and I'll be happy with him.
Well, Mark, let me ask you another question. Since you've been doing this now, did you kind of start reaching out to vendors and say, "Hey, I'd like to review stuff for you," or did vendors start actually reaching out to you by seeing your videos, or how does that play along?
I got contacted after that whole event. They GearBest contacted me to do reviews. Told me to pick anything that I wanted out of their stuff, and if I would do a review on it, you know. Wow. So I went through all their catalog and picked stuff out as if I was buying a mod for me, you know, as if I was spending my own money, because I want to be able to turn to my viewers and be like, yes, I would buy this, you know what I'm saying, or I wouldn't buy it. It's a good, you know, it's a good price, but it's not, you know, it doesn't function right.
Yeah. How'd it go with you, Mark?
In the beginning, I reviewed everything I owned, like everything I bought, I reviewed, and over on, well, when I used to go on ECF, they had a buy, sell, and trade forum. So the way I kind of funded my channel was I would buy something, and I would go out there, and I would trade it with something. Like, you know, I'd buy an atomizer, and then after I did the review on it, I would go out there and trade it for something else, whatever I traded it for, that's what I would review, and I kind of keep that going, and then I just purchase my stuff off eBay, and mainly I would just review the stuff I bought, and then I really didn't contact any vendors. I think I probably just contacted one vendor, but I never really contacted any vendors, and then I got a lot of vendors contacting me for e-liquid. It seems like when you first start your channel, you have to start off with e-liquid. That's the way it works, I guess. And I got a lot of people that contacted me as far as e-liquid. And then once one vendor contacted me, I think it was Subsonic Vapes. They were the first one to contact me to review actual hardware. And then it kind of just slowly took off from there. Like, people start seeing your videos, or other vendors start seeing your videos, and then they kind of contact you. And I normally get a lot of messages on Facebook, like, oh, how do you start reviewing and getting free stuff? And people are all about, like, getting free stuff. And I'm like, well, it's not really about getting free stuff. Technically, it's not free because, I put into anywhere from, like, 4 hours to 8 hours in one video. So if you think about it, it's not really free. And I'm like, well, if you're going into it thinking you're going to get free stuff, it's all about the free stuff, then it's not going to work out. It's not for you. But I think the best way to do it is just put out your videos, for the stuff you own and you buy. And if your videos are good and someone likes you, eventually someone will see it and it'll take off.
Nice.
That's the way I've done it. And it just kind of one day, just people, one vendor seen my video, and then the next day another vendor seen my video and they like it. Some people like my videos, some people hate my videos. Everyone has their own different style and personality. Some people like the guy that sits on the couch and just hangs out. Another guy likes the guy that gets all technical and sits at his desk. Another guy likes the guy that swears up and down. Everyone has their own personality, and whatever is your style that you enjoy, kind of go with it. And then if a vendor likes it, normally they contact you, And then once they start contacting you, then that's when the shit piles on, and it's like, oh, man.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that's because I've noticed out of the few bigger names that it seems like there's more and more videos coming out of, like, man, you can't see it there off camera, but I've got, like, boxes piled up, and it's just too much now. I got too much stuff here and too much time I got to do to get this up to date.
It gets stressful, and when you start reviewing, you never think you'll get tired or stressed out from doing reviews. Like, oh, I'll get all the newest gear and I can review it. It's going to be awesome. But it does come to a point where it does get stressful, and you got all this stuff piled up, and you're like, well, okay, how am I supposed to review this if I got like 5 other things in front of it? So it does get stressful after a while.
Yeah.
And companies are always asking every day when the review will be up.
Yep, that too.
Man, when companies contact me, I always do the same. I have a copy-paste text that essentially says, attention, I always get very technical on my reviews. I always take my time with the device. I only speak the truth. I have a set up text that I send to all companies that contact me. Some companies, after the text, they don't reply me anymore. So I think I'm filtering bad devices. And another companies decide to send me stuff, but even sending the copying and pasting the same text that says that I take my time because I get very technical on each review, at least on mods, and once they see the tracking that the item was delivered, man.
Yeah, they start emailing you like crazy.
Yeah,
and that goes, like I said, with the thing about every reviewer is different. Like, you got some reviewers are real technical, and it takes them a lot longer to review a product as opposed to the another guy who just kind of does a relaxing review. So there's different kind of reviews. One guy can pump out 7 to 10 videos a week, while another guy can only pump out like 2 videos a week. So I don't think vendors kind of realize that. They need to kind of realize who they're sending it to and how long it takes them to do the video.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to be during the week to be with 2 or 3 mods, and each mod with 2 or 3 new tanks I have. So I kind of test 3 mods and 3 tanks in the same week. But sometimes there are devices that are a little bit more difficult to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And man, when I received the DNA 200, that will be a challenge.
That'll be a week-long video right there.
2 weeks without reviews.
That's the one I'm not. I want a DNA 200 so bad, but then at the same time I don't want one because I don't want to review it.
Yeah. It's the same feeling I have.
Yeah.
It's the same feeling.
Well, this is directed towards Daniel and Mark, since y'all both get quite a bit of stuff in there, it appears. Is that drive still in you to be the first one to get that video out, or is it just kind of now like it is what it is?
For me, definitely. When I see that there aren't any reviews on the device I have, sometimes I jump that device in front of my testing. Sometimes I don't have really the time, since I take a week testing. In that week, it pops out 1 or 2 reviews on a device. But when I have luck, normally it means a little bit more growth on the channel. So.
Yeah, like in the beginning, I mean, even still, like if I get something really new and I know a lot of people are wanting to see it, I'll still be like really excited and try to push it ahead. But I like to spend like a week or 2 with whatever I use, so I'll do like a quick look video to kind of just first show it. But I don't know, as time goes on, I'm not really concerned about that because there's a lot of reviewers out there, and there's always going to be a few people that get it before you, get it ahead of you. So I'm just telling myself, you know what, just treat it as a regular product, just review it normally. But if it's something really popular, I'll do like a quick look and I'll just show the product, not review it, and then I'll use it, and then I'll come back a few weeks later and review it.
Yeah. Just as I did on the Solo. I was the first one, so I did a quick look, and I'm gonna be. They also confirmed, since I'm helping them so much on the temperature control and on the mod. They confirmed that I will be the first reviewer to receive the retail version.
Nice.
But
which mod?
What I got with that was at least a reviewer hating me.
I mean, like, you know, I don't care what anyone says. You know, everyone tries to get like the first review out there. It's always like, you know, when you're a kid and you're the first one to get the coolest toy and you want to show it off. It's just like the same thing with reviewing. Everyone does it. Even, you know, Phil and everyone else does it from time to time. They want to be the first one to get it out there, so everyone's guilty of it. But I mean, yeah, it brings extra people to your channel, you know. But I mean, I personally don't like aim for it though. I don't like, you know, try to fight to be the first one.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same with our subscribers. There are always the first guy that only comments first comment. So
yeah.
People just want to. Normally, sometimes people just want to be first on anything.
Danny, which mod was that? You held it up so briefly I couldn't see it.
Me?
Yeah.
The Solo 200. The mod that is supposed to do temperature control on Cancel.
Oh, okay, cool, very cool. You know, it's like in football. Not every player wins the game. In fact, you can't win without a team. Sometimes a player's in just for a few minutes, but he does something significant. I feel like with reviews, yeah, sometimes I got a cool first look at something, but mostly I just want to weigh in on things. If I'm a voice in a series of 5 to 10 reviews that validates, I don't ever expect anybody's going to watch one of my videos and go out and buy something. They shouldn't. They should watch what a multitude of people say. But you know. If I happen to be one of those credibility sources, a voice speaking of affirmation, then my purpose is served there, and I'm happy with that. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, and it's very important for like anyone out there who watches reviews and, you know, is interested in buying something. Never watch just one reviewer or one review. Always watch at least 2 or 3 on a product. Never just watch one person when it comes to buying a product.
Because everybody is different, and I can forget some things that you can remember or you can catch them, and it's just as I always recommend to see as much reviews as they can.
All right. I'm gonna ask a question, but I'm gonna kind of answer it as I'm asking it. I want to know who's caught the most slack off of what review, but I'm gonna start mine real quick. Of course, I'm one of the ones that got a shoddy iStick 50 back in the day when they first came out. So I put my video up, was like, oh, this thing's cool, and then it went to shit. So I put another video up, and the way I titled it was, beware of the iStick 50. And I have caught so much slack from people on that now going, well, you probably got a clone. You probably got this. You probably got that. And I'm like, you know what? This thing's not perfect. And there are issues with it. And it's like, I can't believe you put a video out there like it. And I have to sit there and answer it by saying, I feel videos need to be out there because if you got a faulty or a crappy device, you need to know about it, and you don't burn your house down because you've walked off of, you know, just whatever. But so
right.
What kind of slack have y'all caught off some, or are the most slack off a particular video, if at all?
For me, there were. Go ahead.
I was just saying that's why I didn't review the iStick 50, because I received the iStick 50 from eLif, and it became defective on the third day, and I sent it back to them, and they didn't send me another one, so I didn't review it. Yeah.
End of the story real quick right there.
Yeah, end of the story.
That's why eFest wants you to send that one battery.
For me, like there were two videos that caught a lot of attention. I mean, not so much. It was more like personal attention. One was the Magnus or Magenus sub-ohm tank. Since they sent me like a prototype, and since the Magnus and the Star tank are kind of like the same tank by the same company but two different people, they rated the tank to do like 100, I think, and 50 watts it was or something like that. And I did it. I vaped on it on camera, and there's no way it could do that much. And I said in the video, there's no way it can do it. And I had this one guy, this one individual who pretty much stalked me everywhere on Facebook. He was sending me videos of himself, cussing me out. He was going on groups trying to like just damage me, just because I said the tank couldn't do 150. And you know, still to this day, I say this tank cannot do 150 watts. And then there was another video I did on a cotton. I don't even think I have it anymore, but it was a organic cotton, and I did a video. I don't do videos on cotton, but this particular cotton I want to do a video on because they were claiming it to be like completely like organic and whatnot. But when I did the video on it, it wouldn't hold e-liquid. When you burned it, it just turned to a black.
I remember.
Like, yeah, it was horrible, and it got so bad to where the guys on VP Live, the radio show, they didn't like it, and they were kind of cussing me out, and they had the owner of the company on the show, and then they invited me on the show to kind of discuss, you know, why I gave it such a negative. But at the end of the day, it was all kind of cool, and the owner kind of agreed with me, and you know, but yeah, that video got a lot of hate for it. Not hate for the community, but hate from like the owner himself.
Mark, is that the cotton that you just held up on the show the other night? Y'all,
yeah.
Okay.
I always keep it just on the side just to show people how it burns.
I go camping a lot. I could use that to help me get my campfire started. That sounds like good stuff. I'll review it for campfire kindling.
There you go.
I have a video. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I get a lot of grief on a daily basis on the one video that I get my most views on, and it's really just a rant. It's a scathing ranting. I have like Tourette's syndrome in it because, you know, I was being criticized by a lot of people in vape shops who didn't know what they were talking about. So I did this video about mod safety, how to build right for the right devices, and you know, it's a good video, but it's titled "The Dangers of Sub-Ohm Vaping," and I didn't do it for shock value. I wanted people to say, "Hey, geez, you know, maybe I should do an ohms calculator and see what the actual wattage is on this mech mod." which is unregulated, and I have no idea what I'm asking it to do. I get all kinds of stuff, and I don't delete. I've rarely deleted any comments unless they're just like totally nasty, and you know, one guy was cursing out like me and my wife, and I was like, well, that doesn't need to be on there. But if they're just criticized, and I have some errors in the video. It was very early on in my like vaping and reviewing, but my message is clear, and my message is an important one. But I get so much grief over that. You don't know what you're talking about. You shouldn't be on YouTube. Go die. All right. You're a dickweed. Yes, I am a dickweed. Absolutely. And thank you. Yeah.
I had kind of the same situation as you and as Mark on the Star Tank. I had 3 guys pursuing me on everywhere about the smoke M80. The 3 guys always on my foot, saying, "Dude, you are a dumb person. You are stupid. And the smoke M80 does temperature control, but it doesn't do temperature control as other devices. It does temperature control on wet cotton, not on dry cotton." Man, I got so much hate because of that.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Who popped in?
Heavy metal.
What's going on, fellas?
So you finally decided to join us?
Well, my prior engagement did not take as long as I thought it would, so
All right. Well, welcome in.
I sent you a text message, but apparently you only text Juicy while you're on live chat.
Oh, no. I leave for a cup of coffee, and look what shows up.
What's up, Mark?
What up, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How are we? How's everybody doing?
Good, good. Just been here shooting the breeze. Go on, tell everybody who you are, like they need any introduction with you.
Andrew, you have to change that that SMS tone because that bullet dropping is driving me crazy.
Dude, the other night, I swear to God, the other night when I was on your show Sunday, it was Brett texting me purposely because he thought it was funny that he could hear it in the damn replay.
Did you see all the comments about people saying, "Hey, what's that bullet shell hitting the bullet casing hitting the ground?"
Yeah. Like somebody's playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
But I like when they hit the gong and everybody had to vape, and then Brett kept doing that like every 5 seconds.
That was good. Yeah, because it even got to the point to where I think they did it there at the end, and Mark was just kind of looking around doing something. It's like, hey, what's up now?
Mark, look, I had to explain to my wife after that show. She was like, Mark looked like he was bored as hell. I said, look, there's 2 things that Mr. Fagan does not like at all, and one of them is advocacy, because he'll tell you real quick he's not an expert. He leaves that to the experts. He does what he can. But it's not his thing, and I'm completely cool with that, and battery safety, battery's just one of those things that escapes Mark, and I was like, look, he got to enjoy the chat, so
I was in the chat room the whole time talking with people on that one.
Yeah, I told her, I said, go back and look at the chat. He was extremely active in the chat that night. But yeah, we figured we talked about it before the show. We were gonna integrate one of the sound effects, since the boys like to play with the sound effects. We would integrate one of them into the show where it could kind of be interactive. When you hear the gong, you got to take a hit. It don't matter if it's dry or what. You just better hope like hell you got juice on your wick. And the first time they hit it, the first time we decided to do it, of course I got a dry hit. The one who came up with the game gets screwed by the game immediately. Beautiful. Would you have to go grab you some coffee there, Scott?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got a little scared this morning because I just got up at 8. And it still looked like nighttime. And then I heard my phone stating there is a severe thunderstorm, where I was like, oh, crap. Somebody doesn't want me to have the show right here. I'm going to lose power again. But it came and went. So
Yeah, like that's the first time being on a show this early. If I was on a show like this early, I would need a coffee pot on my desk, like right here next to me.
I might as well have it.
Yep.
So, what's everybody vaping on, man?
We went through that already.
Oh, okay. I know.
What are you
I'm
vaping?
waiting. I'm
What are you
waiting
vaping?
along.
Yeah, what are you vaping on?
Well, right now, dude, I'm seriously enjoying. I don't like this box too much. The review should be coming out in the next week or so, but you'll see all the bad shit about it. But I'm really digging this fucking Arctic tank. I had one for like 2 weeks, and the Heracles came out, and I got rid of it. And the Heracles was my jam, but now I have since fallen in love with the Arctic again, and then I've got the cotton burner with the Dark Horse. That's about it.
Andrew, you haven't had a chance yet to vape on a 3-Max Star, have you?
No, I have not.
That's one you'd love. Opposed to the Crown tank, which that's my new favorite now, but the Star's badass. I hadn't had a chance to play with the new one yet, but the first one is just, every video I do, even if it's about a sub-ohm tank, I'm hitting the Star tank, but just showing the other tank off. So
The Star and the Crown are my two favorite ones. Those are the only ones that keep around now.
yeah,
The Star is the same as the Magnus.
Yeah.
actually, to me, it's a little better. It's a little better version, just because of the way they did the fill ports at the bottom of it. I think on the Magnus they were a little tighter. It was kind of harder to get the juice in.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
wider, I think, on the Star. It's
Yeah.
like deeper.
I think so. I think my Magnus can be a second version because
oh yeah,
this one is just
yeah.
it's not like the first one.
It's like a Magnus V2, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the only gripe that I have with the Arctic, and I'll show you. I know Mark's probably dealt with one, and they're pretty common. So, but this is the only gripe I have with it. See that little bitty tiny slot? It's a pain in the ass unless you have a needle tip bottle or something like that, which I happen to have, but I don't know where it's at. So.
Yeah, if you jiggle your hand just even slightly, it's going nicely, and all of a sudden, bloop, and it goes right down it. That was my only gripe, but other than that, it's a great tank.
That's why I like the sub tank, you know, because it's like you pull the coil out and it's wide open. It don't matter. You could pour it straight out of the bottle in there, just about.
The Kangaroo tank.
Yeah.
I gotta get going, fellas. It's 10 o'clock over here, but I'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother.
Over here.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
Nice
All
meeting
right,
you,
brother.
man.
We'll see you around.
Nice meeting you guys.
Did you saw already the Sub Tank Plus V2?
Yeah. Quit rubbing it in my
Thing
face.
is huge.
They improved on the rebuild on that one.
Wait a minute. They got a new one now?
Yeah,
When did they
new
come
one.
out? When did they come out? It's like just now or what?
5 minutes ago, dude.
Oh man, I give up.
Yeah.
I definitely give up on the
15 minutes ago,
It's
Mark.
the plus.
Shit, you ain't up on your sub tank game anymore.
Nope. I gave up on sub tanks.
No, but they always have the plus.
So
They
it's the
just
plus
did the V2. Yeah, they just did the V2 on the plus.
Oh my goodness.
That's the
But
one that comes with their
I have-
sub box now, right?
I have to say right away that the stock drip tip that comes in the plus is already better than the V2 regular one.
Better how?
They improved the airflow tempers down, but they improved a little bit so it doesn't accumulate so much condensation as the other sub tank.
Has anybody had any interaction with that what is it, the Atlantis Mega? Have you seen this thing?
The Triton, not the Triton.
No, the Mega.
No, the Mega. It's an Atlantis on steroids. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to be 30 millimeters, 28 at least.
It's
I've seen
I'm
it, but that's it.
I'm thinking on get it just to attach on the venti on the, on the Wismac venti.
But you know what sucks about that thing? As big as it is, it's only a 5 mil tank.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was talking to a guy at the convention who had one,
It is shorter.
and I was like, "Man, I really like the way this looks. You know, this thing's got to hold a ton of juice." And he was like, "No, it's a 5 mil tank." I was like, "Well, I ain't shelling out $30 for that."
Yeah. Mark, didn't you just get a new Freemax Star Pro?
Yeah, I just rinsed it out like this morning, and I'm gonna start using it today. I hear a lot of people complaining about. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know. But something about lining up. You got to turn the drip tip and turn it off, or some stuff, or something about it that someone's complaining about.
It's like spring loaded or something like that, from what I was hearing.
I'm hoping they didn't mess up the original, you know, because the original is awesome. So hopefully they didn't mess it up and change something and screw it up.
Yeah.
That's like with the Crown Tank. Since I'm so in love with the Crown Tank, I actually, when I was talking to UL, I told them, like, listen, if you guys come out with a version 2, talk to me first. Let me go over it, because everyone loves the Crown Tank. Before you guys make any like drastic changes, like before you guys screw yourselves over, let me look at it first, because you know.
I told them exactly the same. Please, please, if you come with the version 2, don't screw up.
Yeah.
And keep the version 1, because people like that too.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's it has by far left all the other tanks just sitting there collecting dust now. It's the only one I go for now, and I didn't believe the hype at first, just because, like you say, you know, you get tired of tank after tank. But man, when I got mine, like I said, I don't even mess with my Crown Tank anymore. I'm out with my Freemax Star, and that's all I ever used to use.
I now I always have 3 Crown Tanks. All of the 3 ready, one on nickel, other on Kental, and other on titanium. For testing, I just use crowns now with the RBA section.
Do you like the RBA section, or what do you think about it?
I love it.
You love it?
I love the RBA section.
I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I like it, but I think it could be better.
I haven't built on mine yet.
Because maybe you were expecting the same flavor as the stock oils.
Yeah,
I do prefer the stock oils. That's it. But the RBA section, I think it's the better RBA of all the tanks that have RBA option.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I've heard a lot of people disappointed with it, opposed to being happy with it.
You have to play with it, and you have to wick it right. You really have to jam those juice wicking slots. You have to jam them with cotton. At the same time, you don't want to overstuff your coils, so it takes the right balance. But when you tweak it and get it right, vapes, I like
the better way is to fluff both ends of the cotton. Fluff the cotton too much, and pack too much cotton in there. You can pack too much cotton if the cotton is fluffed or fluffy.
You're getting a little personal.
That's the better way.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's probably just me. I'm probably the only person, but I'm just never a fan of the RBA sections with these clear miser tanks, just because they're so small and they're so kind of limited. Like, if I want a rebuildable, I normally go for an RTA because the deck is just more, I don't know, it's a lot better deck to build on, but I've just never been a fan of any of these deck sections on the clear miser tanks.
Yeah. Just so you can have a perspective, even reviewing all the tanks coming to me, I was always stuck to the Limo 2 deck. I also have two Limo 2 tanks, and once I got the RBA section for the Crown, my Limos are sitting on my table. Yeah. and my Limos aren't the originals. My Limos are Limos on steroids.
Oh wow! Damn. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
and I do prefer the UL crown.
That's massive right there.
Any of you guys try the Goblin Mini yet? Or the Goblin?
I was looking at that this morning, and I was going to order one, but I wanted to watch a few reviews on it first.
Yeah, I'm so close to ordering one of those damn things, man. They look cool, dude.
I guess I'll have to do a review then. So just so you, I love it. I didn't want to like it at all, but it's got like a mutation style for split post in the middle to build on, just like building on a mutation, and then I mean it's tiny, but
tiny.
Like the bottom of it, like the airflow, the AFC, it looks kind of weird. Like there's no bottom to it. How does that work out? Like what is it like?
I'll show you. It's you got this sliding slot. So that's the airflow up from the bottom, nice and wide.
Nice.
And then this is how you have this. Can you?
Like little lever or something like kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a little sliding lever that that you slide. There it is, and you close the airflow off like that. And it's K-Fun-esque with this little screw at the bottom that you have to unscrew, which is a pain in the ass, But it's worth it. So it kind of like if you have the patience. But and then when you wick it, you really have to jam cotton down into. See if I can get this. There's 4 nice channels, and you actually have to stuff it so that it comes out. Like you can even see the cotton protruding into the tank.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Before I did that, I just had it inside, and it just flooded like crazy. But once I stuffed that through, I made them a little longer, and then it keeps the juice from flooding it. And I cranked it up to 70 watts. I feel, and it was a good vape at 70 watts. Then I back it down. I vape it around 50. But it's a nice tank to build and to vape on. It surprised me. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely in the rotation, and this is my driving vape now. Cool. But it is a pain in the ass. Then every time I have to fill it up, I'm like, ah, fuck, I hate this. but I don't really hate it.
But
what's
on
the
the other
capacity
day,
on it?
That's like 3 mil. It's not much. So I go through juice fast on it, and then I have to take that little screw out. The screw popped off in my car. I was filling it in my car the other day, and I had to crawl around and find the screw again. But
But on the other day, I saw that they was planning to come out with the top cap with top fill.
If they do that, they will have hit the nail on the head. That's they need to do that. Another tank that I'm excited to get, the Smoke TFV4. It's a little pricey, but I saw a guy the other day had one, and I hit it. It's got like 3 bottom coils. It's a beast. I don't need it, but I want to check it out anyway. And it's top fill also, I believe.
It's a monster. It's a monster.
Yeah,
Mark can tell you how he got a video on it.
Yeah, I did a review on it. It's a nice tank, but I mean, I wouldn't use it every day of the week because it'll kill you. But yeah, it's a really nice tank. It burns through the juice like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if you want flavor and vapor, that's the thing to go to.
Yeah, I watched Mark's video and Mike Vape's video on that one, and I know both of them when they agreed that it was sucking juice up like an old work truck. That's going to be an expensive one, but it's got some big massive coils to it, just the factory ones.
Yeah, but the tri-coil head is more impressive than the quad one because the tri one has like 3 individual coils, where the quad coil is like a parallel coil, like one big parallel coil.
Does it come with the choice, or you have to buy those separately?
It comes with a tri-coil, a quad coil, and an RBA section.
Cool.
Oh, it already comes with an RBA section?
Yeah. Well, I mean, mine did at least, anyways. Mine came with a tri, a quad, and then an RBA section.
They sell it in 2 different packs. They sell it in a smart pack and a single pack. The smart pack has everything. The single pack just comes with a just 2 coils, no RBA section.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah.
And for the difference in price, it's like about $3 or $4. I mean, you might as well just get the full blown out one. Yeah. So.
That's right.
So it kind of follows suit, like the parallel of who's going to use this tank versus who's going to use that tank. And I think that Yeah, it sucks through juice, but the guy who's meager and conserving his juice isn't going to want that strong and heavy of a vape anyway. I blow through a lot of juice when I drip, so the only reason I'm using a tank at all is when I'm driving and I can't drip safely. And then I don't want to sit there with a little festering vape while I drive and punish myself because I just won't drive anywhere.
Yeah,
But,
this thing, it will satisfy you, trust me. After you break the coil head in, this thing is it'll hit the spot, trust me.
So how do you go about, like, how long does it take to break the coil head in? Is there anything special you have to do?
I don't know. It's about maybe a half a tank or a tank, and like when you first start vaping it, you're like, okay, it's not bad, and then after maybe half a tank, you're gonna be like, wow. And if you take real deep lung inhales, you can really like cloud up a room. This thing pumps out, especially with the tri-coil head. Like I actually like choked because I inhaled too much vapor. I was like, and it was bad. But yeah, it's probably one of the most. It's probably the, I think it puts out the most amount of vapor that you can get off a sub-ohm clearomizer. Like, it's probably the biggest one. I haven't tried the hat trick one yet, though, but it's got the same kind of coil head. It's got 3 individual coils, but so far the TFV4 is like the biggest one.
You should have used that in the cloud competition. You'd have won. Hey, where are those hanging monkeys? The Spanish Inquisition hanging monkeys of yours.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where I got those things at, but I had one, and then a couple weeks later, another one popped up. I have no idea where they came from.
Somebody's just loading monkeys in Mark's room.
It's kind of creepy, too.
It was a little creepy, but it was funny. I hope you don't mind I picked that out.
Oh, I'm the same way. When I see someone do a video, like, like in their house or something, I'll look for, like, the craziest thing in the background. I'll start looking at the background of the video, trying to find something.
Like my tiki head.
I didn't see that in yours, but I did admire your doggy bowl and dog bone shaped mat.
Oh yeah.
Homeboy Josh had some really crazy artwork. Like I think, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings in case he might have painted this painting in the background. But I don't know. I wanted to ask him about that.
Cat.
He's got this. It looks like an oil painting in the background when he's blowing his clouds, and it's very abstract. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, he must like cats a lot. Like he wears, if you notice, he wears cat shirts in all of his videos, and he made mention of it somewhere, and I was like, dude, I've always noticed that you're wearing like a cat wearing sunglasses or some kind of crazy ass cat T-shirt, but I always thought you just, you knew it and you really like cats. He was like, no, I've been waiting on somebody to say something about it.
Awesome. There's something there we need to dig deeper on.
Yeah, he might be a single old lady. That might be what it is.
That's true.
Well, I think that's what reviewers do when they're watching others. It's not even they're watching what somebody's reviewing. It's like they're checking all the background stuff out.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm like looking at their shelf or looking at the background. Especially when they move the camera angle, I'm always checking out the new stuff.
Definitely.
I banged my finger with a hammer, and I had one of those like blood clots that just takes months to grow out. So in some of my videos, I had this. Some guy's like, "What do you got? Shit on your fingers all the time? Clean your hands before you do your videos." I was like, "Man, what do I do about that? I'll put a Band-Aid over it." Oh no, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. He's the only one that had a problem with it. He can go eat it.
Oh yeah. I noticed that myself with you, Daryl. I was seeing in some of your videos there, you had a little black thing going on with the finger.
I promise it wasn't. I have good hygiene.
Well, some guys are more elaborate on this too. Of course, like in this situation would be Mark and Daniel, so you're getting to kind of see. So I'll definitely be sitting there trying to think, man, what the hell's he got sitting right there? I'll have to pause the screen and get all up close looking and everything.
Yeah, I've always wanted to ask you, Mark, what the hell is that bright orange mod all the way on the end? That's the only thing that's been a mainstay on that shelf. Everything else has moved, but that orange thing has stayed there.
It's my mom's CX box. This thing actually cost me $250.
What?
I use it. Yeah, I use it. It's a is it Raptor chip in here? I think does 120 watts. But I break this thing out like I don't know on special occasions. I mean, it does have some dust on it, but It's a yeah. I mean, this is like my first like major, like my first like big box mount I've ever bought before. That has a lot of power to it.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, that kind of just sits there. But yeah, I paid $250 for it. And then here's the small. I bought this one a few months after buying this. They came out with the smaller version now. So now they have the Mum CX Pro, and it's like much smaller. Same amount of power and everything else.
Looks like a Hexone, the smaller one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah, but there's some mounts that just sit there and kind of collect dust.
Yeah. Well, if y'all are ever interested in dishes, I mean, y'all can just keep looking behind my head because I got a nice cabinet back there.
And it's funny because in the beginning when I started doing my videos, I was playing around with the idea of my background. So in the very beginning, if you, like way back in the day, my video started off with just a normal background, like just nothing going on, and then I transferred into the whole like black only background where it's just all black and everything else. And then I realized people like to see stuff in the background. They watch, they look at stuff in the background. So then I bought a shelf and I started, building a shelf. So my background's always changed until I found something that I liked.
The only bad thing about the black backgrounds with some people is like when they're blowing a cloud, the cloud looks distorted on a camera then, or it's crazy looking.
Yeah. I think the only person I like that has a black background is Scott from I Get You 69. Like his videos are just like the best looking videos ever, and I think he's the only one that can pull off the black background.
Yeah.
Gorgor Brittany, but I'm not really looking at the background when I'm watching her videos.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go check this girl out because everybody says I've heard that name 100 times in the past 2 days.
She's awesome.
She's a very young girl, which, well, yeah, she looks pretty young, but she's pretty heavy into all this.
She's got her act together.
Yeah.
She's got a good channel.
Checking now.
But talking about the background, you were talking about the Vapor Trail channel black background.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he has black background too.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
The vape vanishing, but the vape vanish on the Vapor Trail channel guy because he uses a chroma key tissue, and then he edits the background to be black, and it's like
a green screen or something.
CGI green screen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a chroma key. It's that. And when you are editing, the software has some issues to deal with the vape.
So he can do a weather forecast and reviews at the same time.
Oh, so he's not technically on a black background then, right?
No,
It's like
no.
Oh, okay.
I think his chroma key tissue that he has, I think it's blue. I'm not really sure, but I saw a little bit of blue on one review. So.
Oh, I never knew that. That's pretty cool.
That's
Holy
fancy.
cripes! How have I never heard of this chick, man?
Now we know what you're going to be doing all day.
Oh shit! I meant to mute my microphone. Sorry, guys. Continue the conversation.
Hey, she builds too. She builds.
Oh yeah.
I will not be
Pretty
doing
hot.
any fancy backgrounds. This is vinyl siding right here. This is what I can do. This is my summer spot.
I think Daryl's the only one that does outside videos.
You know what's weird about you being outside? You have the most quietest microphone I've ever heard someone have on the outside.
Wow.
I don't hear any wind
Yeah,
or
I know it.
anything.
It's when my neighbor starts doing his yard work. When we first started, there was the garbage truck was coming by. It was loud as hell. I had to mute out. You would have all wanted to punch me in the face if you had to hear that.
Usually when somebody's outside, it's like, and all you hear is wind, and they're trying to fight their. Yeah, it's weird.
Birds singing like on Professor Vapes, every kind of stuff. Yeah.
Now, you just jinxed me because in another couple of minutes, I'm near an airport, and an airplane's going to fly overhead, and all of you are going to just want to just leave the chat.
No, airplanes are with Big Blue.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, dear God. He had one fly over his house. I don't remember. It's been a couple of weeks ago. He had one fly over his house, and he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, and this box mod is fucking." That was close. Fuck! Did y'all hear that? I was like, never have I seen Lou get that nervous about a fucking plane. Like, normally he doesn't even acknowledge them, you know, but this one he was like, what?
Those are big jets. He's right by JFK Airport, like not too
Yeah.
far. Those are huge jets coming in for a landing.
And Daryl was like that on our first show. We're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I see Daryl's head kind of go like that, and you can hear the plane just kind of zooming over. I'm like, oh, hell, it's about to be on.
It's a small airport, so there's like Cessnas and bullshit, like prop planes taking off, and they're loud as hell. But
I know
today's nice and quiet.
They're louder than a 747.
I live next to a guy that he owns a motorcycle, and it seems like every single time I'm doing a review and I do the up close, he starts up his goddamn motorcycle, and I gotta stop my video and just wait for this guy to like get out of here because all you hear is a motorcycle blah, 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 in the background. It's like drives me nuts. Never fails every time.
Damn it! That was my 5th take, and now I gotta redo it.
Hell yeah. I know. Speaking of that, which it seems like on Mike Vape's video, it never fails when he starts doing one. He must live in an apartment because I hear the pounding of some kid running upstairs, and it's just like he just zones it out and keeps going with it.
I hear that too.
I have always my cat doing noises. And my upper neighbor, he has a 3 or 4 year old kid that is always dropping things on the floor.
When we were in that Vaporium chat yesterday, and everybody was getting vape mail, and they were just like quietly hanging out, and all of a sudden they've got packages, and I was shocked because for me, when the mailman gets you, when he's like a block away, my dog sleeps 23 hours of the day, but she does wake up when she hears the mail. So I know when my vape mail's coming about 2 blocks away because she just goes berserk. And I can't do a vape mail video.
Well, Dirty's always good to have when you got vape mail coming because he can play the song for you.
The best. The vape mail song.
I sent that little scoundrel a damn invite, but I guess he's probably over there on Vapor playing around there.
That I would not doubt.
It really it trips me out though how long. There we go.
I have that music stuck in my head.
It'll haunt you.
Yeah.
No, he sent it to me the other day. I was like, play that shit. Play the vape mail song. So he texted it to me.
Well, it trips me out though how long those people are actually staying in there because I'll leave for work and get off there about maybe 1:30, get home and jump back on about midnight, and the same people are sitting there. They might have changed clothes or something. I'm like, oh,
It's like me, Dirty, Fluffy, Juicy. Jesus Christ.
God, Lord.
I got
I'm
I
sorry.
got vape mail yesterday. I think it's one of the most longest devices I own.
Holy crap.
What
I got the Aspire Triton tank on it. It's just like a 50-watt regulated mod for like for like not really beginners, but for like someone new to tube mods. I figured I would review it for them. But I put my Triton on there, and this thing is it's enormous. It's huge.
Dang. Who makes
It's like a
that one?
sword.
That's what she said.
And then also,
the two-fisted.
Damn it.
I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm just like weird and OCD-ish or something. But whenever I get vape mail from China, I'm always afraid that there's going to be like some kind of like weird like Chinese cockroach in the box, So I always like pick the box out. And when I opened up this box yesterday, they sent me these Phantom tanks, whatever. The box, it smells so horrible, and I don't even know what the hell the smell is, but it just reeks of something really bad.
They probably
Chinese-
ate a bunch of those rotten duck eggs and farted in the fucking box.
It is.
And the Chinese bubble wrap.
Is it? That's what it is.
That like really
No,
flimsy
I'm
bubble
just
wrap.
I'm just saying the Chinese bubble wrap is always very, very ugly too.
Oh
and
yeah,
dirty.
it was loaded with that. I give that to my kid to jump on, but the box just smells so bad.
You don't even get a satisfying pop out of the bubbles on there.
Nope.
On there,
I
I don't know what. It's like deteriorated, decomposed bubble wrap.
Maybe that's what
Disgusting.
made it smell so bad.
Have you tried one of those Phantom tanks yet?
They sent me 3 before, and right when I was about to use it, they said, "Oh wait, don't review it. We gotta send you the new ones with the larger fill hole." So I'm like, "Okay, all right," and I didn't even bother using it. But it's kind of weird the way you fill it up in the middle,
That's right. When you,
In the middle.
because you can never open up the. Do I have one laying around? No. It's a real tall tank, and you kind of in the middle of the tank there's a ring. You turn the ring, and you hold the tank sideways, and you fill it up like through the side. It's kind of strange.
Really?
Grim Green was talked about it yesterday.
Yeah. Grimm's he showed one off, and it's kind of strange, but.
But he explained the reason why there's 2 tanks and all that kind of goofy shit. Like it just looks gimmicky to me. It might work it might work perfectly, but it just looks gimmicky.
I think it's going to be more of a gimmick look tank. That's the reason why I decided to review it, because it looked different. So.
yeah. What size coils do those come with?
I think.
Mark,
Yo.
do you have the gang mod?
Yeah, I got that
He
thing.
does.
Your fire button is becoming mushier. No.
I haven't used it long enough to. I used it for a little while, and I noticed there's a huge delay when you fire it. There's like a 1 second delay.
No, despite of the delay, the button isn't getting mushy and losing fire.
I haven't used it long enough. I only used it for maybe, I don't know, half a day. So it's still a little clicky.
I received mine today.
Oh, did you?
In the morning. Yeah, and it's becoming mushier and mushier.
Yeah, so far
That's what
it's been clicky. It hasn't mushed on me yet. Actually, it doesn't even say what.
That's the problem. That's the problem I have with this box. Like sometimes it'll fire and sometimes it won't, and the button's like 1.5 miles long. And you would think if the button's that long and you have to press it for that far into the button housing itself, it should fire every time. But it's like sometimes it's like fuck it, I'm not firing right now.
You need a new spring in the button. It got too hot and it kind of got.
It's a shitty button.
These Phantom coils are a 0.20 ohm, and they're using stainless steel wire, so they might take as good as the Crown tank. Who knows?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I just bought one of those yesterday from Wake and Vape. It's on its way, and I got those Sigali 150 coming too. So I hope I didn't waste my money on that tank.
I haven't tried it yet.
I think the next move.
Oh,
I think the next move on the vape is stainless steel wire coils and stainless steel temperature control mods.
Yeah, I ordered a spool of stainless steel wire. I want to try it out.
Daryl, you got the new temp control 150 coming?
It's coming, yeah. It was like $87 for the mod, and I guess Sigali has a tank, so I'll try that out. And then I went on the rest of their site and I said I haven't seen the Phantom tank. It was like $30. Let me buy that. They didn't have that. They didn't have
That's
that.
Sigali Elite.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? The Sigali Elite tank? I hadn't know.
It's not a bad tank. I've used it. I just never reviewed it.
Cool.
Well, yeah, they did 2 tanks like right off the gates. There's like a version 1 and 2 right off the bat.
Yeah, there is.
They have a whole package now. You get the box, and you get to choose if you want a set of batteries or an Energizer charger. I didn't know Energizer made chargers for 18650s, but I guess they do.
Oh, wow.
What?
Me neither.
That's new.
I was tempted, but I was like, nah, fuck it. I just bought the eFest one. So, hey, while we're at it, before I forget, it's not a big deal. I have a couple of juices to give away, so anybody watching our show here, comment down below, and then next week I'll pick a winner. It is 240 mils of juice. This is from R&R, and
Nice.
I'll tell you, it's a funny story. I didn't buy these. The 2 flavors are Kylie and Banana Hammock in 3 milligram. I was at a vape shop doing my show on Tuesday, and a very nice lady, but a very stressed out lady came in, and her iStick 30 watt had broken, It wasn't working right, and she was making a big fuss, but she didn't have a receipt, she didn't have the box, and they wanted to give her, you know, they were trying to work with her, but she was very, very distressed. And also, she was blocking another car that wanted to get out, and the lady kept coming into the vape shop saying, "Are you going to move your car?" So this thing was like escalating, and I was getting stressed out. So I just walked over to the counter. I was like, "Hey, here's my credit card. I want to buy an iStick 30 watt." And the guys at the shop were like, "Daryl, you don't. Why are you buying an iStick 30 watt? You don't need that." I'm like, "I want to buy an iStick 30 watt in black, please." And then I bought it, and I gave it to the lady. I was like, "Come here, give me a hug. You're all set now, ma'am. Just don't smoke." And then she was happy, and it turned the situation around. And I didn't mind doing that because it eliminated stress from my environment. And the guys at the shop were like, "Here, give this away on your show, but don't say who it's from." So I'm not saying who it's from.
That's cool.
Yeah, you just did. It's from the guys at the shop.
I didn't say who they were, though. So, and I didn't say the name of the shop.
If you're at a vape shop in upstate New York,
we will leave a link to your name at the bottom.
No, I'm in Long Island, Ronkonkoma, but I didn't tell you who. Well, they didn't want credit for it, but because it was an awkward situation. But it was like everybody needed to just chill and diffuse, and it worked out great. Karma will get you, good or bad karma in life. And I had enough bad karma in my past, so the next 43 years of my life, I want to sow the seeds of good karma. But thus I have juice to give away.
Hey, Andrew, you didn't even have, look what Daryl's vaping on, juice-wise.
what is he? What are you vaping on? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, false reserve.
You were talking about this the other day. I was rooting around in my bag. I was like, that gives me a hankering. I know I have some of that. Good shit.
Dude, that is some good stuff. Some
Bird
seriously
Brains is really good,
stuff.
too.
Yeah, we're all doing the Cutwood day, pretty much.
Cutwood.
It's still a little bit lemon lime heavy for me, man. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's the flavoring. The flavor is done well, but it's like all your typical cereal vapes, man. It's lemon lime heavy.
Close off your airflow some. Cut down the airflow, and it's less citrusy.
Huh.
Daniel, I grabbed my gang mod, and you're right. The button is starting to feel kind of less clicky.
Yeah.
It is getting a little mushy now.
Totally.
What is the
And I'm only using it for 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
I feel very threatened and intimidating with you guys holding those weapons on this show. What is that made from? Is that metal? Can I use it?
I think it's an anodized aluminum.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't try
But it's
and hit
heavy
them.
as fuck.
You'll more likely smash your own knuckle in it.
What is the wattage you can get on those?
It's got
60,
the
I think, right?
60, I think, right? I didn't,
Yeah,
I haven't
60.
even used it.
I think it is the perfect mod to be on front of an representative's election.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I think it's
What,
the
I'm
right
just
one.
vaping.
I represent vaping.
Put that on your letterheads right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disassemble mine right now to check the fire button.
So you just need that and then the pistol grip mod and walk down the street with both of those, like double-fisted. You won't get arrested.
No, not at all. Especially in Chicago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that looks normal in Chicago.
Yeah, man. They'll give you a medal.
Now, Mark, are you actually in Chicago, or are you on like the suburbs outside, or?
I'm like the suburb right next. I'm like 5 minutes from Chicago, if that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm in a suburb next to Chicago.
You guys just had an expo like 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't go to it, but yeah, we did have an expo.
So did good old Andrew down there.
Sure did.
Yep.
Yeah, nice little interview too.
Yeah, we had a good time.
What's the next one to hit?
Next one I'm going to is in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I think I'm going to go to that. That's like early September, right?
Yeah, first weekend in September.
Oh, cool.
So
listen,
here
if
is
I have-
the inside.
Oh, hold on, let me screenshot to there.
Here is the inside of the
Ooh,
beast.
it looks ugly, doesn't it, or no?
Did you just open that up and void your manufacturer's warranty? You're gonna make it. You're gonna modify it better and fix it, and then send it back to them. Say, here's your version 2.
Take it out and put a better chip in it and a better screen, and we'll be good to go.
Maybe any keyboard fits in here.
Yeah.
Denny, when are you coming out with your Yeehee 5000 chip?
Damn. You gonna try to outdo the 200, huh?
I've got an ohm record coming, and I'm gonna put it side by side with the DNA 200.
I got a feeling it's gonna whoop the DNA 200's ass.
I got a feeling you're fucking home, sir.
I got a feel. I mean, other than the extra 50 watts, but.
Well, that's been your go-to for a little while, hasn't it?
Yep, I've been loving that thing.
Well, see, here's the thing. I can't put it on a temperature scope and see how accurate it is, but I can hook this one up to my computer, and it tells me within 1/1000th of a degree what the temperature is. So
that's amazing.
It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
That's amazing that you have the patience to sit there and figure out like software and learn.
It tells you the standard deviation. Like it'll show you, you literally have a line that goes up and levels off, and it'll say, say your temperature is 500 degrees, it'll go up and it'll hit 499.94, 499.99, and it'll show you exactly how close to that temperature you're getting.
How do you do that?
With the software.
I'm so glad you guys do that, because I almost failed like college calculus and physics, and I don't feel like going back to school tomorrow. I just wanted to vape, but I'm glad you guys do that stuff.
Exactly, that's why I am. I just want to vape.
Yeah.
I like it though. I kind of nerd out on shit like that,
That's awesome.
I hooked it.
I like
when I first got it, I hooked it up to the computer, filled up the sub tank with a nickel coil, and vaped 3 tanks full of juice, just watching the lines go up and down and figuring out.
No kidding.
Because you can take and hook it up, set it over to the side, and set everything that you want on one side, and hit an auto puff and tell it, 6 seconds. Hit the puff button again, and it'll fire it for 6 seconds.
No kidding.
But the only bad thing about that is you don't have air going over the coils from pulling on it to for it to be as accurate as possible.
Nice.
I just figured out a solution for the gang mod.
Oh shit.
A piece of paper between the
what gauge
in the
paper
button
are you?
Are you serious?
because the gap between the metal button and the actual switch is huge, or is becoming huge with usage. So I stick a card thing. Now the switch is very clicky again. So
$250 mod, and the way to fix it is with a piece of paper.
And you got to see it first here. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh man.
Isn't that how they were fixing the IPv4 with wasn't it a piece of paper that was all janky up in there or something?
Piece of tape.
It was the little porthole, and people would fill that in with a little bit of like silicone, and then no problem. Or they'd open it up and clip the wire. This is the 4S, so it doesn't have that problem. But that little hole and that seam there, that thing sucks. It draws juice in. I love this thing because it fits in my hand so nice. But that seam there, do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Running up from that hole, it just juice finds its way, migrates in there, and it's attracted to the inside of this device.
And that was the huge problem on the charging board. It was not the fact that it had a charging board. It was the fact that they placed the charging board underneath the 510 connector and with huge gaps.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Juice finds its way to the heat, so it pulls itself out of the RDA almost and finds its way down in there.
Yeah.
All right, this is not sophisticated, but like, if I blow in there, juice comes out, like, because that's what was
They
in there.
didn't have another place to put the charging port.
Oh, I don't know. Put it on the bottom where the goddamn USB port is.
Yeah. Lots of space down there.
Yeah, just put a fucking balanced charger in there somewhere, and then use this right here. Look, right there. Boom.
Go figure.
Done. Yeah, done and done.
Why is that such an issue too? Because I realize all these devices that come out, the biggest complaint from everybody is that why did they put the port here? Why did they do it? I mean, it seems pretty elementary where you would do things of how somebody in general is going to be using it all day, you know, unless they just do it.
I think they're just too much in a hurry to get the product out to even like use it in like a real world setting to realize it's not the perfect place to put it at.
Well, that's what a lot of people have said. You know, there's no beta testers in China.
No.
All the beta testers are in the United States because these Chinese companies know that they can put out garbage and we're going to buy it up. You know.
Yeah, and even though they're sending out products for testing, they're still making the product, so they're not waiting to hear back from the testers. They're still making it, and regardless of what you tell them, it's still going to come out. You know, if you say, "Oh, the battery door is shitty," you know, they're still coming out with the product, so they're not really beta testing the correct way.
I was talking with iJoy about the same thing last night or 2 nights ago, because I saw the Aspire Pegasus mod, and the fire switch is exactly the same, and some other things. Remember the Solo, and I made a joke with the iJoy girl, and they confessed that iJoy was going supposedly to build the Aspire mod, but Aspire didn't want it to alpha and beta test it, and iJoy broke the deal with Aspire, and Aspire got the pieces they already had. Yeah, but not the board.
Another problem they have over there is the engineers who are designing these things are employees, and when's the last time you ever wanted to go criticize your boss? That's a good way to find yourself unemployed. So, you know, the way it comes across to me is sometimes they do things just to like, oh yeah, it's great, and not, hey, there's they're not looking for problems all the time.
Yeah, they're
but they don't have to look for problems. They have to have external people looking for problems in testing.
Yeah, and since they're such in a hurry, they're not looking for problems. They want to be the first one on the market to have that 200-watt device or have the Kanthal, temperature control. So they're trying to push it out as quick as possible. Which what they should do is send it out either to their own testers or reviewers. Check it out first, get their kind of feedback, their opinion, and then kind of put it in production. But they're in a hurry, so.
Yeah.
I think iJoy with the Solo is now almost on Charlie testing.
Charlie testing. It's beyond beta.
Yeah, they passed beta testing.
Well, I know me and Andrew were a part of this yesterday because we were on. Damn, I forget who we were talking to. Oh, we were talking to Pegasus Vapor. But did the rest of y'all catch Twisted's video on his little Chinese mod deal?
Oh yeah, I have such a problem with that video. I wanted to post a comment on there, but I just held myself back.
I didn't get a chance to watch the full thing until last night, and I sat there and thought, "Are you serious?"
So I'm gonna just say my comment here on the show, and if anybody that watches the show has an issue and sends me some hate mail, then so be it. But
nobody watches the show, so it's okay.
This is a guy, okay? He makes a video and he's complaining about him sending his design to China, them stealing it and cloning it. Yet this is the same guy that supports and reviews clones. So how is it any different that China's gonna rip you off when they're as opposed to you reviewing a product that they ripped off? And I just couldn't believe that he put that video out there saying that. I'm like, oh, I just couldn't even believe it.
Yeah,
so he's mad that they're going to clone his device, but yet it's okay for him to promote clone devices. I mean, I use clones, and authentics. I don't care about that. But for someone like himself, to come out and say, oh, he's pissed off that they're going to clone it. I'm like, dude, you review clones. I'm like, you're all about clones, so why are you pissed off? They're just going to do this. They're doing the same thing to you that they did ever to everyone else.
Exactly.
Wow. But I held back from
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, basically, what the way Peg put it was that this guy has no idea. He basically said it like this: if I came to him and I said, "Look, Peg, I want to get this DNA 200, and I want to call it the heavy metal mod, right? And I want to get it produced, but I want it to be a limited run, so I'm only going to do 500 pieces." He would look me in the eyes and say, "Okay, it's going to be 30 grand for 500 pieces." And I'd say, "Okay, well, 30 grand divided by 500 pieces, that's going to be an expensive fucking piece." And at the same time, you can get 1,000 pieces for 30 grand. And then once you cross the 1,000-piece mark, it's going to go up. And it doesn't matter if you want one made or if you want 1,000 made. It's going to be 30 grand because that's what it takes. That's what it's going to cost for them to fire up those machines, to run the CAD drawings, to get the conveyor belt rolling, basically. It's between 1 and 1,000 pieces is going to be 30 grand, period. So, with him wanting to do 500 pieces and then making a backdoor deal with somebody and just expecting it to, like he said, a good old attaboy and a handshake don't fucking work over there.
Yeah, he wants, if I'm not mistaken, he wants to them to, like, cover it. He's not going to put the money down. Yeah. And it's almost, I mean, I'm like, okay, Twisted can't be this stupid. I'm almost wondering if he purposely did this so that way they would clone the mod and put the mod out. That's what I'm wondering, because if he thinks a company is going to just say, oh, yeah, sure, we'll do this for you. It's only 30, 50 grand. We got you. We'll spot you. Like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. So I'm wondering if he just did that so that they purposely would clone it and the device would come out. But, yeah, now I just couldn't believe he was pissed about them cloning it. I'm like, dude, you review clones.
Exactly.
So now you're mad that someone wants to clone you, but it's okay. And, I held back.
Well, that's exactly probably what it is. It's just a new technique to get out there using YouTube. Hidden messages in there.
Yeah, and then anybody out there want to spot me 50 grand so I can, build this alien-looking device? Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Put on that, buddy.
Look at the fucking Deviate mod. That thing is stupid as fuck looking. It is fucking stupid. Why would you buy that piece of shit? I wouldn't buy it. I mean, number one, it's fucking $250, and number two, it's a DNA 40. Sorry, right there, it's overpriced, highly overpriced, especially for and it's been a long time since I've seen Grim Green do an honest, critical review. But when he reviewed that last Wednesday, that was a really good review. Like I can listen to what he's saying because he pointed out the button sucks. He pointed out that the fit and finish down the side is fucking terrible. He pointed out that it's a DNA 40 device. So and Mark, the reason why I said the other day, and me and Brett were talking about this in G-Spot the other day. The reason why I prefer your reviews over everybody else is because you're fucking Southside Chicago. You don't give a fuck. Mark will tell you, look, this fucking, he's not going to use the secret Illuminati words. He's going to say, hey, this goddamn drip tip sucks dicks. It doesn't stay in here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I wish every reviewer was like that, just gave their honest opinion, but I mean, honestly, it's not like that. Not every reviewer is honest about their devices, and I wish everybody was.
My hardest time with watching some people review a certain product was this right here. This freaking OBS tank.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody I was watching, because I was getting ready to purchase it, oh yeah, it's the best tank. It's badass. It's top fill. It's blah, blah, this and that. And I was thinking, cool, I'm fixing to get that Joker. So I get it, and then I see one video saying that the 0.5 coils that come with it, they're kind of sucky. Man, I get that thing, the 0.5 coils in it are the worst coils that I've ever had in a 0.5. So I ordered some 0.25s for it, and they were better. But man, I got on there, doing my review statement. You know what, people? Everybody I've seen out there has done all these great reviews. If you're just worried about trying to get your free stuff by saying, "Hey, it's good," you're not doing us a service out there at all.
Well, a lot of people gave Vapor Rob a bunch of flack, and he got the shit trolled out of him for putting out a video that he put out. And if you hadn't seen it, it
will come back to you.
I mean, it's fucking awesome. He's like, look, if you're just doing this just to get your 3,000 hits a video and get your little YouTube money, then that's fine. But at least be honest about it. People want to stop smoking cigarettes. They don't want to empty their fucking bank account.
Exactly.
Just tell the truth.
The OBS tank, I didn't like it, for a few reasons. I didn't like it. I gave it, I think, a thumbs down. But one tank in particular was the Zephyrus. I said everyone loves the Zephyrus, and I just said, personally, I don't like it. It's a good tank, I just don't like it. So it wasn't like a thumbs down review. It was like it's a good tank, but it's not my style because, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. So.
I told the same on the Zephyrus, and I told that if they had the option for single coil on a so tiny RBA, it will be better an RBA single coil than a dual coil. That was my final option. My final opinion.
Well, I'm the same as Andrew towards Mark's videos. That's why I like yours so much, is that you can tell you're not in it just to get stuff. I mean, you're going to tell it like it is, and that's what people need out there. Because I work. I'm buying my stuff, and I damn sure just don't want to buy something because, hey, this big namer says it's good, so that means it's definitely good, because that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. And my main two influencers for my videos is P. Basardo and Todd, and those two guys, they'll tell you how it is. If it sucks, they'll tell you it sucks.
Phil is not gonna fucking lie to you. Phil's gonna show you, and he won't just say, "This is my opinion that this button doesn't work." He'll take you up close and say, "Look, see this button does not work. Here's the force meter. It takes 9.5 pounds, and then it still doesn't click, or whatever the fuck it is,
Yep.
He proves.
Exactly. He doesn't use opinion. Most of his reviews are not opinion based; they're fact based.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to review something based on what I can prove and what I can test, and not from what I can feel.
Yeah, because there's there's two differences. There's when I do my pros and cons, if I go through a certain con, I'll say this is an opinion. It's like a personal con. For instance, one of the one mod, the record box, the screen didn't rotate, and I said, well, I don't care about that because I don't rotate my screens. But for some of you out there, you may really rely on rotating your screen, so it's more of a personal con for me that it doesn't have screen rotation. So it's stuff like that.
Well, and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was I don't remember what it was exactly, but you were like, man, I'm really sitting here having to pick this thing apart to find anything wrong with it. And that immediately jumped to the top of my list, and I cannot for the life of me think of what it is. It was just maybe
a review from Mark.
Yeah,
there was one. I forgot what it was too.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but I remember to watch the same. Yeah.
It was recent. It's been in the last couple of weeks or so, 3 weeks.
Yeah, there was one item I couldn't find any cons on.
Yeah, let me look through and find out what it was.
Oh, and by the way, the gang mod is now fully functional.
Good.
That's my thing, man. If I buy something, then I have to fix it. I'm just not even. I'm not happy about that, dude, at all.
No, but the one we received is just the sample one. Okay, it's not the final version.
Oh, okay. So they sent you the shit that's all fucked up, so you could tell them what to fix.
Yeah, and why do they do that? Why do they send? They'll send out the prototype. They should tell us not to review the prototype. There's
You're
there's
famous
occasions.
right now. You just didn't know it.
Yeah, they should tell, like, for instance, like the Magnus. That's why I got a lot of shit on that. And they said, oh, that's the prototype version. You shouldn't have reviewed it. I'm like, you told me to review the damn thing.
It was the Bigfoot mod.
Oh, yeah, the Bigfoot, yeah.
But I think Fumi Vape wants us to review the sample.
So they told you to review it then?
Yeah, they don't.
They sent me so many.
Tell you not to.
They've sent me so many emails since they started this thing. I don't even remember anything about it. Every single week, I get an email from him with a video or a letter or
at least 20 emails.
Yep. And it's like
10 or 15 pages. That should be
send us a
here,
book.
I think.
They got a little crazy on this thing, man. They got a little crazy.
Well, the more and more I listen to you big timers, I'm kind of like, hey, I just assume buy some stuff here and there and do a few reviews like that.
But they aren't the only ones. If you saw the Danny Extreme V2 pamphlet they sent me with 35 pages.
Oh wow.
It's too much.
All kinds of specs.
I mean, it's good that companies kind of do that, but I think for the gang mod, it's not. Like, I got all excited and like wondering like, wow, this thing is gonna be awesome as hell. Then when it arrived and I seen like what chip they're using, I'm like, oh my god, really, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my
totally
God.
disappointed.
Yeah. Get me all geared up and send all this paperwork and these videos and this poster and all this other stuff and
I think for the same price they should went with a deal with SMY with this newer chip. At least it is 60 watts, and it has temperature control.
yeah, I kind of feel bad for these guys. They put a lot of money into this.
Yeah, the screen is the same size. Maybe I switched the internals.
The little speedometer is cool too.
Just put your SX350J in there. Just put your SX350J in there and throw you a little lipo stick in there. And
yeah, I thought the same because the board is the same size.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this because I think I know where else we can go to after this. But I appreciate y'all being on. And, man, like I said, open invitation anytime y'all want to come on. It was great having y'all on.
Yeah, 10-4. You just need to move it up about an hour and a half so I can actually get the sleep out of my eyes.
I know. I'm going to have to send everybody coffee pots for this time.
There we go.
Well, go ahead.
I want a Mr. Coffee, one of those, what do you call them, the super drip. You ever seen those? It's like the speed brew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the speed brew 9000.
Mark, you got a show, and Andrew, you got a show. So when are y'all on?
My show is Not Another Vape Show on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you'll see Andrew on there a lot of the time, and Nate from Regular Vape Dude, and you'll see Brett and all the other crazies out there.
Well, if you ever invite Brett again, apparently you have to invite him each and every.
Yeah, I know. He always messages me, but this one week he had to be invited.
I'm just gonna, dude, I've saved the permanent link, so I'm just gonna run in the room even if you don't invite me.
There you go. And this week I'm giving away a home wrecker box mod, so it should be.
Okay. Well, I'm not watching. I'm going to get in on the giveaway.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be on this week.
I think that's why Brett probably stood behind last week. He wanted to get in on a giveaway.
He was wanting the Sigelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, you got a show also?
Yes, sir. Wednesday nights. We have settled on Wednesdays. It's going to be Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central. Reviewers Q be damned. We'll go from 8 to 10, and then we'll leave there and hang out on the G spot for God only knows how long after that.
Until the show starts again next week.
Exactly.
So wait, it's not called Never Heard of Them anymore? I like that name.
Yeah, it's called Never Heard of Them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, and let me get this out there too real quick. Me and Daryl were shooting around with names for the show, and we came up with this. And it's we gave one comment about, so what's an untrue vapor for whoever made that, but I think it was a perfect fitting for the name because we're just telling it like it is. We're not trying to blow smoke up your skirt or anything. So that's our explanation there. So
yeah, it's a name. Don't read into it. It's not that heavy or deep. There's no hidden secret message there.
I've got plenty of friends that'll blow smoke up my ass. The last thing I'm gonna do is blow smoke up somebody else's.
Hell yeah.
Now, I might blow some vape up their ass, but
hell yeah.
Do that.
Well, it was good having y'all on, and we'll be seeing y'all next week. And like I said, open invitation anytime y'all want to come. So,
Cool.
Everybody out there, y'all have a great day, and we'll be seeing y'all.
yes, sir.
All right.
Take care, guys. Thank you.